And this is our official D-litter announcement. Now, below you can see the full advertisement that goes into all the in-detailed information. So I'm just going to speak briefly overall and kind of summarize it because honestly, who likes to read all that jazz? First, whenever I look for a breeding pair, I want to look at the genetics because me personally, I prefer dogs that can do the flashy obedience but can also do that hard-hitting protection and have the real nice working drives and not be a total nervy mess like you see in most Malinios nowadays. For me personally, I breed for police canine work and the protection sport work because I feel that's what Malinios are made to do. So whenever I start looking for these pairings, I look for a nice solid stud dog, and that's what I found with Argo. They call him Z. Z, the first thing I noticed was his hard-hitting protection. He had his IPO 1 and he scored a 98 pronounced on his protection phase. On his IPO 2, he scored a 95. So he has a really nice solid protection drive and he's really fun to watch work. He's very operant, he has a lot of prey drive, and he's very focused. So for him to be, that operant also adds into the trainability of the pups that he can produce. Lastly, I really look for the pedigree. So I look how a dog works as an individual, and then I start diving into their pedigree, and he had exactly what I was looking for. For example, for me, I like to look at the older lines. A lot of people in the States have their preferences. Now me, whenever I look for the older lines. Those older lines were those really aggressive, hard-hitting ones that had that nice on and off switch, but they were very confident. And that's what I'm looking for my breeding program. And with Z, he has, I don't know if I'm saying these right, I'll probably butcher them, but he has a lot of Des Deux Pottois, and he also has Pro de Tubière in, and with the mix of him and Sophie both, there's some really nice bloodlines in the pedigree. So with those old lines and looking at his father, his father Lugar has a nice solid history of French ring national champions and a lot of French ring 2s and 3s. So seeing all those titles shows that his pedigree on his father's side is proven to be nice sport producers. On his mom's side, hell, his mom is a police canine herself. So that's what I'm looking for, so that's what I get. And then in her, she even has an American confirmation champion in her pedigree, but she also has a lot of solid titles in the dog sports as well. So Z is stacked up with genetics on his pedigree and his bloodlines. He has everything that I look for in an individual dog. He has everything I look for in a pedigree dog. And plus he has that nice sleek look. He's a nice, larger mouth, but he has that dark coat. I know everybody's been getting crucified looking for that dark coat, but for me personally, it's a personal preference. That's the last thing I really look for. And if they have it, great. If they don't, it's not a deal breaker, but I like seeing it when I see it. The first Mal I've ever seen was in Iraq in Fallujah in 2003, and seeing that dog, snarling and growling and slobber flying everywhere, staring down his bark hole was very intimidating. Well, if you're wanting to produce a lot of police canines, you would like to have a nice, intimidating looking dog, and that's what I have with Z. On the other line, we have Sophie. Sophie's a half-sister to Boker. He won the 2014 World Championship title. So, coming from the Fontaine pedigree, everybody knows those have been proven over and over and over again. A lot of Sophie's pedigree was the first PSA dogs. They were some of the first titled IPO dogs. Even Tom Rose had one of the dogs from her pedigree. So that's a very nice, solid, look at it. With everything said, most of her puppies do go to police departments and the Tom Rose School and the dog sport world. So that's what I really look for with these genetics and these puppies. And then whenever the puppies are born, I immediately start them on puppy development. I start using prey items at a young age. I start odor conditioning them to narcotics. I don't use marijuana though in my odor conditioning. If you want to do marijuana, you can add it in, but as soon as they start eating food, I start conditioning them. Right now they're being conditioned to meth, LSD, heroin, and cocaine. And once they start eating solid foods, we start working on marker training. when they start getting a little bit more mobile and they can focus a little bit more, we start working on nose down behavior for tracking. And then of course we still work in those tugs and that prey drive. So no matter what you want to work your dog for, we start the puppies, because why wait until they're 3 months old, 4 months old? Start them, you know, from the very beginning and develop that base a little bit that you can build up as you go. Also with my puppies, they come with microchips, all the vaccinations and wormings. They also come with limited registration. I don't sell my puppies to breed. Right now there's a huge Malinois craze and everybody named Mama is breeding Malinois right now. But with that being said, if you are working your dog and you get all the proper health testings, if you show me later on where, you know, the dog is past OFA and pin hip and whatever, then I can change that to full. But I don't sell them to just any old Joe that just wants to breed them, okay? So if that's what you're looking for, I apologize. That's just not what my program's about. Also, I do a guarantee with the OFA. I have really strong pride in my breeding program. Z's hips are excellent. Sophie's are good, rated at 4.5 years old. So I've never had a puppy, you know, come back with bad hips, but there's always going to be that one someday. And since I'm very confident in my breeding program and proud of it, I do offer a guarantee where if any genetic issues happen down the road, I'll replace that puppy of equal or greater value, because I understand that burden. Also included in the price is air shipping. I ship all my puppies directly to any airport in the continental United States that's closest to you. That's included in the pricing. If you want to use your own shipper, or you want to use an other provider, contact me and we can work it out. But as it is right now, at 8 weeks old, when they're ready to go, I have an air shipper that picks them up and ships them out directly to you that weekend. So you can have your puppy immediately. You don't have to worry about ground transport and all that hassle. It's very convenient, and you can get that dog in your home and started in your program as soon as possible. So if you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to email me at the email below or send me a private message. I'll be more than happy to answer those. And as the puppies age out and we start making more and more videos, I'll post them in the comments below as well, so you can follow along and see which ones that you like. So there it is, and have a good, safe week and weekend coming up, and keep on training.